Fetterman as a nominee at some point for president. I know there's some variables, obviously. What he did in the super red, deep red parts of Pennsylvania just makes you wonder about his future.
Bold journalist.
But Drew Hernandez is a strong-minded individual.
Exposing lawlessness.
Hernandez, who is ideological.
Finding the truth.
And use the word Antifa.
This is what they do.
Battling
They're
mainstream
liars. The woke mob, all they can do is lie.
These are the front lines.
What's going on, Thought Criminals? Welcome to Frontlines. I am your host, Drew Hernandez. We have a lot of news to get into today. I think a lot of people were anticipating a red wave. I think we kind of saw a little bit of both going on. I think we kind of saw millions of, still woke-tard people still thinking that the left cares about them, even though all kinds of stuff is falling apart in the United States of America. And we did see a backlash. We did see a red wave in Florida, and we did see the backlash in Texas as well. But what the left is also propping up is a rainbow wave. Apparently, there's a lot of LGBTQ people that have been placed into positions of power because apparently, like I said, there's a lot of people in this country that believe the mentally ill should just, lead our country, and the sexual perverts that want to, groom children should just be in positions of power. So here we are in the United States of America. We have a lot of news to cover as well. And they're saying John Fetterman should run for president in 2024. Who, him or the neck bulge? Which one? I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. We're going to get into it. My name is Drew Hernandez. You are now on the front lines. Let's get straight into this. Well, here's some breaking news regarding InfoWars and my good friend Alex Jones. Judge orders InfoWars host Alex Jones to pay additional $473 million on top of the nearly $1 billion jury verdict issued last month. Here's how you know that this is all political, okay? Here's how you know that this is all a political show trial to crucify Alex Jones and InfoWars in the process because of things that were reported on the network a few years ago during Sandy Hook, the tragedy. If they really cared about the parents, they know, these lawyers, these prosecutors, these people going after Alex and InfoWars, these people know that Alex Jones does not have $1 billion to pay out to the parents, right? These people know that Alex Jones does not have, $2.75 trillion that they got to pay out to the parents? Because he's such a scary, horrible person. You think for 1 second that these lawyers and these prosecutors don't know that he's not worth that much money? What's ridiculous about this is they care, we care about the parents. The parents should be compensated because of all of the trauma. They're going through PTSD. Every time they see an image of Alex Jones, he's just the boogeyman. Don't you think if they really cared about the parents that they would come to some kind of reasonable settlement for them to be compensated because of all of the claims that they're claiming are devastating the parents and their families? Of course they would. But that's how you know this is a show trial and they're full of crap, and this is about crucifying Alex Jones publicly rather than actually helping the parents that they claim to be helping, because they're never going to see that money. Of course not. They're not going to see $2.75 trillion. Are you kidding me? That's like a country. That's a freaking country. That is not going to happen. It's not reality, and they know it. Why? Because this is not about the parents. This is about sending a message to crucify InfoWars and Alex Jones so no man or no woman dare to become an independent voice like he has to speak out against the global elites. That is every single one of us right now, just so people can see what is taking place. So pray for InfoWars and Alex Jones, because I'll tell you one thing, without that man, there is not this show. Straight up. There is no Drew Hernandez or Frontlines. Well, let's take a look at these Skittle people that have been elected into office, because for some reason, Americans just think that we should, not the thought criminals out there, but we should just elect the mentally ill and the sexually perverted and put them in positions of power because, that's where we need to be, right? Minnesota elects the first transgender state lawmaker. Wow, amazing. That is just so awesome and great and progressive. And we just need mentally ill people in positions of power, writing laws. and coming up with ways that society should function and go forward in society. And yes, I am very concerned with someone that is mentally ill being a lawmaker in this country that can't even get their gender role straight. Okay? If you can't get that straight right out the gate, I don't think you should be in a position of power to be writing laws in the United States of America. I'll just put it at that, because if you can't figure out whether you're a boy or a girl, you can't figure out whether you're a male or a female, you have no business being in a position of power writing laws or literally contemplating how society should go forward if you cannot get past something so basic like that. Yes, you are mentally ill and you should not be in a position of power. But the problem is we still have people in this country that are just as woke-tarded and stupid and think that that's somehow progress and that that's somehow going to push us forward in society when it is literally not. It is not. And I don't say this to degrade someone of their humanity. I say this to humiliate the normalization of their mental illness that is in a position of power that gets me demonized if I have a problem with it, and I have to go along with their fake reality when I'm actually living in reality. Because if you come out and have a problem with it, you're transphobic and you're the problem. And if you don't go along with their clown show and their fake reality, then you are just the devil yourself. No. We're not doing this anymore, okay? This stuff has to be exposed, number one. It has to be humiliated publicly, number two. And that is how we're going to deal with it, number three. That is how you go on offense. That is how you go on offense with these people, because these are the same people that are going to continue to go after your children because they're mentally ill in their own mind. So you think they're going to lead the country in a stable way? The mentally unstable are going to lead us stably in this country, writing laws? Of course not. Let's be honest, dude. That's what we need right now. We need honesty. We need truth. And that is going to lead to humility, because there is no humiliation without humility first when you're dealing with truth in the face of a lie, which is that right there. That is a lie, and I will not accept it, and I know the thought criminals will not accept it either. Here's another individual that has been the first out trans man elected to the U.S. state legislature. James Rosner has just become the first out trans man to win election to state legislature in U.S. history. There's another one. Here's another one. We have a few pictures, right? There it is. Yep. That's who's going to lead your country. Rosner won the race for New Hampshire's 22nd State House District, Ward 8. The group said the 26-year-old Democrat, who identifies as bisexual and lives in Concord with his wife and cat. Well, enjoy. Enjoy some more mental illness and colored hair Skittle people that are just going to continue. I mean, The Hill is saying that LGBTQ candidates have historic night in Rainbow Wave. So now they're calling it the Rainbow Wave, as if it's, like I said, you got to accept it as normal. You have to accept it as normal, because if you don't, you are the problem. A record-shattering 340 openly LGBTQ candidates running in the midterms this year won their elections Tuesday evening in a night full of political firsts for the LGBTQ community. Like, who cares, dude? Like, it's like, at this point, all this inclusion stuff, inclusivity and diversity, the first this, the first that, right? It's looking really bad. All these diversity hires actually make the communities look even worse, just like VP Kamala Harris, which is literally the epitome of a diversity hire. These people want inclusion, they want diversity, and when they actually get it, it looks terrible because these people are stupid. And these people care more about sex and genitals and mutilating children than they do actually the success of families and the furtherance of the American dream in the United States of America, because they're twisted and perverted. That is how this is going to continue to go. They hijack everything. They hijack literally everything, and it's always about them. That's why they called themselves pride. Pride. God hates pride in the Bible. Okay? Let's just be honest here. What does the Bible say? God hates pride, a proud look, period. And these people are the epitome of what God has a problem with. And that is why the whole world has to stop for a gay person, or the whole world has to stop and stare for a trans person. Everyone has to stop. Everyone has to stop and pay attention to them because they are the epitome of pride. They want all eyes on them. Everyone has to see what they're doing in society. Everyone has to stop and watch. And even though it's leading us towards total depravity, it is the epitome of pride and arrogance and narcissism. And the whole world has to just pay attention, because if you don't, you're a bigot and a homophobe. Well, I'm sorry. I'm a Christian before I'm a conservative. I know a lot of people don't understand that, but I will boldly say that this stuff is the epitome of total depravity, and it's not a good sign. I'll tell you that right now. This is a sign in society that's telling us that God has communicated us to Romans 1 that we are leading down the path of total depravity, which is not a good thing, period. But here we are, where this stuff is continuing. Here we are. Here's a video of a transgender freak reacting to the rainbow wave.
LGBTQ people won. And it's because of you. For the first time in our nation's history, we had one person who's LGBTQ running in at least one race in all 50 states. Zoe Zephyr is the first trans person who will ever be in the Montana State Legislature. Robert Garcia will be the first openly gay immigrant in Congress. Maura Healey will be the first lesbian governor in the United States. And James Rosner will be the first trans man in any state legislature. We're amazing. You're amazing. Thank you for your work and your heart.
Yeah, we can really go after your children now. We're going to go after the kids because Disney is saying they have a not-so-secret gay agenda. Oh, now we have lawmakers that are going to make it even worse. We're already calling for the separation of parent and child. We're really going to go for it now. Children, give us the children. Oh,
That's who they are, dude. They're all sexually perverted and charged, and they're getting a hard-on because they know that if they're in positions of power, they're going to continue to go after your kids. They've been doing it all 2022, and you don't think for a second, do not be stupid and naive to think that these people in political positions of power are not going to abuse that and further go after your children with legislation and attempt to normalize it and probably shut you up if you have a problem with it on social media and off of social media. That is where I'm going to call it right now. Let's just call it right now. Let's just do it right now. These people in positions of power, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse when they go after the innocence of children, because that's what they've been doing all 2022. And when now you have mayors, you have senators, you have legislators and lawmakers that are all down with LGBTQ and chopping kids' genitals up and chopping their breasts off when they're 12 or chopping their penises off when they're 11, and they say it's totally normal. You don't think for 1 second that they don't want positions of power to further normalize this and shut down anybody with that power, to abuse that power, to further their agenda. Of course they are. Of course they are. That is exactly why they want that, and that is exactly why they are just totally up in arms. Foaming at the mouth because they know it is their time.
Fetterman as a nominee at some point for president. I know there's some variables, obviously, but just a few. But I just, what he did in the super red, deep red parts of Pennsylvania, and the way that he ran ahead of Biden, as you were saying, ran ahead of Trump. I mean, it just makes you wonder about his future.
Fetterneck 2024. Fetterneck 2024. Just get me a t-shirt with his neck lump. Not his face. Just get me a t-shirt with the neck lump that says Fetterneck 2024. And I'll wear it all day. Dude, come on, dude. Really? Really, you guys? Especially after 2020. This is obviously the new norm, right? Just get a vegetable in there that cannot think for themselves because they'll be controllable. It's as simple as that. It's like man. Is it like Men in Black? Is there, like, like the little alien that was in the human's head and was like controlling his every move and then dies in the middle of the movie? Is that what's in Ferdinand's neck? He's like this cyborg that's being controlled by the left. I don't know. I mean, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I mean, but they're like the perfect people, right? These vegetables that are just perfectly controllable. It makes sense to me. That's who I would want in there. That's who I would want in there if I had a choice to control someone to do my bidding, especially if I'm the World Economic Forum and I have a satanic agenda that I need to unfold and I will not receive any pushback. Of course, that is who you're going to go with. Of course, you need vegetables in the highest office of the land in the United States of America, because that is how you are going to dominate when you have a literal puppet doing your bidding. Well, speaking of puppets that almost got in, Hillary Clinton has been tweeting about the midterms and says, it turns out women enjoy having human rights and we vote. I don't know. Maybe it turns out that a lot of leftist women just love slaughtering babies. Yeah. See how they just praise murder and they just praise the slaughtering of babies? I mean, Montana has voted to let babies die on operating tables if they survive an abortion attempt. I mean, this is where society literally is. You want to know why? Because the far left has effectively manipulated the emotions of millions of people in this country. That is why when it comes to the abortion conversation, what is always the argument? The argument is always, oh, the rape victims. Oh, if you get raped. Oh, the health complications, which are less than 1% of abortions. It's always that, right? It's always the minority that gets the megaphone and gets blown up as if that's the actual real concern in the conversation here. But that is how they emotionally manipulate people. And they run this on all of their ads. Oh, this candidate thinks that if a woman is raped, she shouldn't be able to have an abortion. So that is why we should slaughter babies as a society, even though it's only less than 1%. That is the logic. And they know it. And they get away with it because it's simply effective. But the truth and the fact of the matter is the majority of abortions in this country is literal murder and babies being slaughtered in the womb, and they even advocate outside of the womb when it has nothing to do with a woman being raped that is less than 1% or health complications. It is simply people fornicating and not wanting to be responsible for having a baby because they decided to open their legs and have sex out in the open, and now they have to deal with the biological consequences that come from that. That is the reality of abortion in this country right now. Less than 1% is the rape conversation and the health complications, but we take the minority and we just spread it across the land, right? We take the minority and we spread it across the land. It's the same thing with everything. LGBTQ, trans, you name it. Take one little minority and the whole world has to stop for that, and the whole world has to cater to that. And it's effective because they effectively, emotionally manipulate many, many people. And God is watching, man. I'll tell you one thing. God is watching all of this, and it will be dealt with. Well, speaking of President Biden, here's a video of Biden saying that Elon Musk is worthy of being looked at over national security concerns now that he owns Twitter.
Mr. President, do you think Elon Musk is a threat to U.S. national security? And should the U.S., and with the tools you have, investigate his joint acquisition of Twitter with foreign governments, which include the Saudis?
I think that Elon Musk's cooperation and/or technical relationships with other countries is worthy of being looked at. Whether or not he is doing anything inappropriate, I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that worth being looked at.
Yep. Okay, get him off. Get the vegetable off. Okay, whatever happened to Twitter is a private company. Social media, they're a private company. Leave them the hell alone. They could do whatever they want. They're a private company. You leave them alone. They can silence whomever they want. They can do business with whomever they want. They could communicate with whomever they want. They can shut down whomever they want and project whomever they want via algorithm, via shadow banning. They could do whatever they want, right? That was the narrative all of 2020. That was the narrative when everyone and their mother was being deplatformed off of Twitter and Facebook and you name it. Private company, leave them alone. They could do whatever they want. The narrative and the simulation is shifting very quickly. Mark my words, okay? Mark my words. DC is going to go so hard after Elon Musk. And I'll be honest too, I'm not sure if I quite trust Elon right now because he is coming out and making statements like this. Elon Musk's softened stance on freedom of speech in call with advertisers doesn't mean freedom of reach. People are saying, what does that mean? Is that further shadow banning and deplatforming? We don't know. Is he actually committed to free speech? Because if he is, I'll tell you right now, DC is going to go so hard. The same swamp and deep state that put President Trump through multiple impeachment, the Russiagate hoax, the Ukraine gate hoax, that same deep state that is invading, that is raiding Mar-a-Lago with the FBI, that has weaponized 3-letter agencies, that same machine, mark my words, is going to get mobilized so hard after Elon Musk. We will see what happens to Twitter. We will see, I'll say this, if he's really committed to free speech, he's going to have to deal with this. And what that looks like, I don't know. But what I do know is if he's really committed to having the digital public town square where people can talk and conversate and really say what they want to say without making comments like that, doesn't mean freedom of reach. So you're going to limit people. I think he made the comment saying, well, if you're in town square and someone's saying something loudly that you don't like, they can say it in the town square, but we're not going to put them on a billboard for more people to see. That's kind of like his logic of what he's been saying right now. So I don't know. We'll see with Elon Musk. If he's really committed to free speech, that means you are committed to people saying what is on their mind according to the Constitution of the United States of America. No violence. You can't call to kill somebody. You can't call for murder. All that, call for war, etc. Right? For violence. The point is violence. You cannot call for violence on people. We will see. We will see. We will see if he is genuinely committed to free speech. We will genuinely see, because we know that when the machine comes after you, when that persecution comes, that shows you two things. It shows you if you really are about what you claim you're about. If you can withstand the fires of persecution, and it also shows us through that process if you're authentic or not. So we will see. I don't think that machine has come yet for Elon. I do think that it is coming. I do think that DC is going to aggressively come after him because, listen, they know, these people know how powerful Twitter is. They know how powerful Twitter is. They know how effective Twitter is. They know what they can get away with Twitter. And they know that they have lost control over a machine that was necessary for them to have information flowing, narratives flowing, and censors on things that they do not want flowing to the public. It's all about power and controlling the narrative. We will see if Elon Musk can stand the test of persecution and this machine coming after him. We'll see what happens. My name is Drew Hernandez. These are the front lines, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
We must play offense. Game on.
You expect the rest of the world to live in La La Land. We're not.
We've been saying these things from day one.
Our solemn vow to you, be good, be brief, be gone.
You might find yourself changing your opinion on things you've never even thought twice about. That really sets America apart.
You are not ready for season 2. This is Reloaded.
My life, tale, and my truth has been to fight socialism.
Are you familiar with structural racism?
Yeah, it's a myth.